Welcome back. Here to preview Sunday's Premier League clash between Sunderland and Everton at Stadium of Light. Barney starting with the home side and the match off a morale-boosting win over Palace.
Yeah, it was huge for them, wasn't it? They came off the back of the 8-0 defeat to Southampton, 2-0 to Arsenal. And the worst thing about them wasn't even the score lines, it was the defensive errors. They just looked devoid of any talent at the back, really. They just looked like the likes of Virginia were making so many mistakes. And at the start of that Palace game, they looked very shaky again. Palace really got at them. Virginia could have given a penalty away after 25 seconds. It should have been a penalty as well, which, you'd expect them to collapse after that. They did well to come back from that. They got a bit of luck from the referee on a couple of occasions. Did well to come back. Palace put them under pressure at the start of both halves. Sunderland held out. They kept Pantilimon quite quiet, really. The likes of O'Shea stood up to the mark. Defensively, they got an injury and Wes Brown had to come on and he scored another own goal, so that was another big defensive error. They need to cut those sort of things out of the game. It didn't cost them on this occasion, but if they keep doing that, then it's going to be a problem for them. Yeah,
they mentioned defensive. I think going forward as well is a big thing for Sunderland at the moment, isn't it? I mean, to be honest, I'm not sure about Connor Wickham. I know he had a good end to last season and he played really well, but I'm not convinced. Josie Altidore scored a lot of goals in Holland, but again, he came on the other night. I don't think he kept the ball. He kept playing it up to him and not sure about him. Stephen Fletcher's the big one, obviously. He's their best player, I think, best striker, certainly. He's really good. He's good in the air, but he needs to find a consistent run of form now. Scored twice in that game. And he's got the talent to do that. He's got the talent to fire Sunderland up the table. I think he came out in the media and said that he needs service. Adam Johnson probably being in that team would help. Larson was a wide player, seems to be playing inside now. But he's probably one of the best centre forwards in the air in the Premier League, isn't he? He's a very good header of the ball. If they can get balls into him, it will be important. But in this particular game, it's coming up against Everton side that are not in good form themselves.
It's been fairly disappointing for them, hasn't it, really? 13 points from 10 games. They would have expected more than that. They would have hoped to push for a top 4 spot this season, but such a slow start. They came very close last season. Obviously, Arsenal pipped them to the post. Their only saving grace so far this season is that all their expected challengers for top 4, the likes of Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester United, Tottenham, they've all been pretty poor themselves, so they're still very much in the race, starting to find their feet a little bit. But games last weekend, the one against Swansea, it was 0-0. Obviously Swansea, they're a tough team to beat, but at Goodison Park, once Swansea had gone down to 10 men, they might have expected to push on and win that match, and it'll be a bit of a disappointment not to have taken advantage of their extra man, really, in that scenario.
I think Everton last season as well under Martinez, they were good at the back, weren't they? They were solid, there was a good unit there, but John Stones was a big injury for me. He got injured against United because he had a really good start to the season. This time, Roberto Martinez has come out and said that he will either play from the start, he'll be on the bench, which is an interesting one because he doesn't think at his age that he will be able to come onto a game. It won't help him. Distan's had a couple of mistakes earlier in the season. Alcaraz comes with Martinez at Wigan, wasn't he? He's still not sure about him, to be honest. Baines, obviously, a very good player. Coleman, but Coleman's had his injury problems. Barry had to play centre half in the game against Swansea for a large chunk of that game, which is a little bit of a worry. And down the other end as well, they need to start finding some goals.
They have got issues defensively, injury-wise at the moment, but they're improving in that respect this season. I think they kept 2 clean sheets in their last 3 games, so defensively they are getting better defensively. Bowie, he's versatile enough to fill in there, isn't he? And he did well against Swansea. He put in a good performance. Martinez was full of praise for him afterwards.
Yeah. What about your score prediction for this game?
I think it's a tough one to call, really. I think I'm going to go for a 1-1, I think.
1-0. I think Everton will just nick it. I think Sunderland have got problems at the back, so I think Everton will do enough. Lukaku maybe to bully Brown at the back and maybe get a goal, so 2-1. So we've got a 2-1 win for Everton and a draw. Thanks for joining us.